How can you turn an essentially blank worksheet into a full-featured actual versus forecast report? This edition of BizNet Software Tips and Tricks will show you how. It's easy. Just type this if argument into every cell to pull either budgeted numbers or actual results for all your sales, COGS, and expenses categories. The logic detects whether the reporting period is past or future and applies the correct budget month-to-date or net month-to-date function. All right, now let's walk through how to make this report come to life without a lot of typing or even a lot of cutting and pasting. The report follows BizNet best practices by including placeholders for company, year, and period, with an additional section for the budget code. You typically use all of those in the functions, along with the account codes for each line item to be tracked. But this time, the period section of the placeholder is used to track the current month, not the reporting month. You'll see the distinction in just a moment. Now let's set up a couple of temporary sections and build the functions for budget and actual results. This will be a one-time process. Drag the budget month-to-date function over and drop it into the budget column. Fill out the function arguments using absolute references for the company, year, and budget code. Don't use period from the placeholder, but instead anchor the row across the top of the report for period, and anchor the range of columns for the segment 1 accounts. Then just remove the equal sign from the beginning of the equation so that you're able to copy and paste it as text. Repeat the process for the actual column using the month-to-date net function. Now it's time to use one of the simplest Excel functions, if. You might find it easier to start with a simple formula. Return a 0 if the period from the row is greater than that indicated in the placeholder, a 1 if it's not. This gives you the chance to cut and paste from the temporary budget and actual columns. The budget formula goes in where it's returned if the period is greater, with the actual formula inserted to be returned when it's not. Using the formula editor, even for an if function, ensures that your arguments will be correctly formatted. We'll multiply the formula by -1 on the revenue side to return positive numbers, and then simply drag it down and then across as with all BizNet functions. That additional parameter is removed for the COGS and expenses sections of this report. One last little piece of work remains, using another if formula to show whether the results are actual or budget for any given reporting period. Then it's just a matter of cleaning up the temporary budget and actual sections and collapsing the placeholder. Stay up to date with BizNet Software by joining our user forum on LinkedIn, follow us on social media, or check the video center at biznetsoftware.com.